welcome everyone to Be So For Real podcast.
I feel like on the lives I should be able to do it.
No.
Welcome to the Be So For Real podcast with your very favorite trio of sisters. We are here live on YouTube, live on our social medias. Make sure y'all go follow all of our social media at Be So For Real podcast. All of the links will be in the description down below. Just come share some love with us. So with that being said, Dana, let's just take a moment and just give a round of applause and a congratulations for our sister got baptized this Friday. Woo, woo, woo.
I love the Lord because he has heard.
Yeah.
My prayer and supplication.
Hey.
Y'all stop. That was supposed
Dana got baptized.
Your girl is born again. No, not born again. What's the word? She's cleansed.
Amen. Sanctified.
Holy.
She's purified.
Set apart.
Refined. Congratulations. Hey. Okay, so with the great news of you being baptized, how does it feel? Like you feel feel different?
Real quick, I know this is not the topic of the day, but I just got to tell this story because I feel like I was an Underground Railroad trying to get into that pool. It's actually ridiculous because they have it set up in it's his own little room, okay? And they have you they split the staircase in half by a curtain, and so they send you up this dark hallway with no light, and it's just a man dressed in all white at the top of the stairs, and it's Apostle Will Catlett. He's at the top of the stairs, and you walk up the stairs. As they rush you, come on, because they're ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So now it's supposed to be 200 people getting baptized. Mm-hmm. So come on. So you get up you go up the steps. Then you get up there. He goes, congratulations. There's going to be 3 steps when you get in the pool. Then there's going to be another step, and then you need to turn around. I'm like, okay. Then they pull me into the pool. Come on, because we got to get this started. So I get in. I slip. Not fall, but I slip.
Yo.
I
gracefully.
Amen. I caught it,
She was eating them up.
I looked Slim Tim, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so then do the baptism. I swear I was drowning. I swear before the Lord, I was drowning because they didn't tell me to hold my nose. They didn't tell me to cross my arms. Nothing. They just, and then they're like, sit down, dip. And I swear to God, I'm underwater and then they get up. I didn't have the mental clarity to go, oh my God, I just got baptized. Yay. Hallelujah. None of that was happening because I'm trying to get the water out of my lungs. So I'm literally at the pool. You walking down the steps, and then the apostle was the one who baptized us, and then Bishop is waiting at the bottom of the stairs. So I'm still trying to get my breath. I couldn't even tell you my name in the moment. And he lift your hands. But I'm like so he could anoint us. But I'm like, but honestly, you just feel invigorated. You feel energized. You feel like a new life. At least that's how I felt, But I was very glad.
That's beautiful. It was such a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing to watch and be a part of, even with being distance, even being here in Georgia and watching you get baptized. I didn't know why you had made that face until I had went back and watched it, and I said, "Oh, she slipped." That's what
moving so fast.
It went so fast. It was just like.
Did you see that too, Dana?
Yeah, it happens actually more often than y'all think. I just be ignoring it. The little thumbs up.
So I'm what is going on?
But I thought it was such a beautiful moment. And when you think about it, sanitary wise, it's a good thing you went first.
Ooh,
because if you couldn't breathe, imagine everybody else who couldn't breathe.
And then
who was up in there open mouth.
They said this one, we have 4 baptisms a year. So every quarter we have a baptism. This is the second one of the year. They said this one, I don't know what was going on, but the water got dark real fast this time. I said, we thank the Lord. I went first. We thank the Lord.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. See, I would have loved to have I've been baptized, but I would have loved for Jesus to have dipped me in that. And honestly, if I could have a 1-on-1 dinner with Jesus, I would. I feel like I think that would just be so amazing. Like, I want to know, like, he down to earth, he cool, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I imagine him, and I know Jesus gets smart. I know Jesus get like, y'all fools up in here in my God, in my Father's temple. Like, I know he can get angry. I know he get up there, but I want to know if he be chilling like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like that turban look good on you today, sis. Like, appreciate you. Like, but do you
What?
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, compliment me. Like, be like, yeah, I'm proud of you. Like, you're gonna be a good one. It's like, what you mean?
Yeah, you know what? I'm sure, and
Like,
you know what? I'm sure he won't do. Bring up nothing like the things that you would think about. Like, oh, when I see, I gotta repent about this thing in person. I gotta say sorry about this. He probably not gonna bring that up. Cause I don't think he really like he cared, but I don't think he cared that much. Like you got 5 minutes with him, he gonna bring that up, you know? Like I don't think so.
Listen, Jesus come down. I want him to have an iPhone. Is it like you better come down here with some pictures. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to see what heaven look like. Send me some pictures. I want to see God big toe. Give me something up there. Y'all got some animals up there. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? And then like, Jesus, you got a girlfriend.
Jesus ain't had no girlfriend, girl.
But I wonder on his fleshly side, did he ever get like attracted to anybody?
Yeah, that's what. Okay, not to go into Bible study, but absolutely, he said he's quick to deliver those who have been tempted because he himself was tempted. It means everything that you felt and have gone through, of course. And then, honestly, for men, it's worse because that's yeah.
Wait a minute. 5 seconds. Mm-hmm. But is that kind of incest?
What?
Like if Jesus was like to hook up with somebody?
I see how you got there. I really do. But no, because we have been adopted by faith. So it's crazy, but it ain't technically incest. It would be crazy.
And then I wonder what his type was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, soft on the eyes, big on the thighs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Harry, what is going
realistically,
on,
I think that would...
I'm sure he did.
I would want to get to know him. You know what I'm saying? I done read about you. You know what I'm saying? I know what you can do. Water the wine. Okay, I know you can do some big things. Tell me about yourself.
What's one question you asking Jesus if he come right now? What's the one question you ask? One question you asking right now?
Only one?
Yes. Top of the list.
One question asking.
Give me number one. Numero uno.
On the route that I'm going right now, am I making it to heaven? Am I on the book of life? Am I there with you? Because I don't care about who the next president. I want to know, am I on the list right now? If you came again tomorrow, am I going with you? That's what I want to know.
That's a good question.
Like, am I gonna make real life? Am I gonna make it?
I'm screaming
for real. That's what I want to know. Forget all that other stuff. It's Beyonce, and I don't care about none of that. Let me know. Am I making it or not?
Okay, Angel.
Let's say, like, am I Michael B. Jordan type? If he real life met me, will he try to holler?
Hey, Sharian.
That's what I want to know. Or like if Justin Bieber ever came over to the dark side.
Girl, he home married with a baby on the way.
Now he is. Girl. I'm saying if he wasn't.
Really?
Like before he had the baby. Yes, girl, that meant they had a baby on us.
I'm shocked.
Yeah,
it's
like another... What's somebody else?
Season.
Oh wait, what's your question? My bad. Before I jump somewhere else.
I don't know. It's overwhelming. That's a lot. Like it's so many questions. It's hard to choose one. I don't know.
You don't know what you're asking?
I don't know. I want to ask the easy one is, am I doing the right thing? But I feel like I don't know. I just want to act. I don't know. It's so much more to explore. We'll go with that for now.
Okay, my question would be: can I get a tour of in like a bubble of the entire ocean and everything in it? Because he can do it like a little presentation, but that's what I want to see. 95% of the ocean is undiscovered. 95%.
Oh, that's crazy. I thought it was 70.
No,
it's too big of a number if you ask me.
Even if it was 70, the 70% of the world is ocean. but 95% of the 70% hasn't been discovered. So what's down
But we
there?
out here worried about taxes.
You know, what's in there?
Mm-mm. Yeah, I would have I would want I want the background scoop. I want the doopity doop.
I would ask, why this family?
Who?
Why this family? Like, why did you choose the parents that you chose for me, the siblings, all this stuff? Why this family? And not in like a
You couldn't sit down with Jesus and you want to talk about us and why you here with us?
You want to talk about Janae? No, you want to talk about.
You want to know why your mama?
You want to talk about Terry?
Like, excuse me, what?
Be so for real.
Yeah, you got a little bit more time to marinate on some new questions.
Leave me alone.
I don't like that question for you. I really
That's
don't.
hard.
I don't like that question for you because that's cool. That's interesting. But like he gonna say, cause like, what if he give you she going in the ocean in the bubble. I'm finding out if I'm in the book of life, and you about to find out why your mama. You don't want to go to the moon. You don't want to tour.
No,
you don't want to meet Michelangelo.
Who? Who?
I don't care.
Well, my question, I wouldn't ask about the book of life because I'm saved. You know what I'm saying? I didn't complete all righteousness like the Lord Jesus. I'm definitely in the book. I'm definitely there. I'm absolutely.
I feel like that. Amen. I touch and agree with you.
Amen.
Sharian said, I would ask, why did you take Jesus for us? What's so special about us that you love us so that much? Because we are ratchet and trifling. Amen. I feel like the answer. Now I'm trying to answer first.
She don't want your answer. She want Jesus' answer. she don't want your answer.
Thank you. I just leave Angel alone. Thank you.
I just feel like it's one of those things where, like just to sit there. Okay, if anybody outside of Jesus, and of course outside of God, Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Like, who, if y'all could pick somebody outside of the Bible that y'all can have a conversation with, who would y'all like
outside of the Bible?
Who would y'all want to like? I mean, inside of the Bible, outside of like, oh, I would talk to God and ask him why he made Jesus and why he ain't make Jessica. You know what I'm saying? Or why, like other stuff. Like, who would y'all want to talk to?
My answer before, because somebody asked this question.
Enoch.
Mary. But
whatever. Think in silence. Enoch. She's taking so long. Enoch. Because that man literally
Mary.
That man literally up and disappeared. Talking about, and he walked with God and was no more. What do you mean? Where did you go? What are you doing right now? Because you didn't die. What are you doing right now? And then what did you know that you just disappeared? Like, not you got raptured before everybody else.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Mary.
Mary, what you talking about? How is it raising them?
I don't even want to give my questions no more because I'm just too basic.
Girl, get your answer.
Mary, not Mary, mother of Jesus, Mary Magdalene. I think.
Actually,
I want to hear her.
That's a good answer.
Go ahead.
No, that's a good answer.
Number one, I want to hear her testimony like straight from her. Well, obviously, of course, the Bible, but I want to hear it straight from her. And then also, just like being a woman, and you got all the apostles are men. Like, did you ever preach the gospel? What were you doing? Like, what was you doing? Like, cause you don't have no book or nothing, but you was that girl. Like, what was you doing? Like, what was going on? Like, what was your purpose? You know.
That's good.
And
I don't know. I got a few people.
Mary was the one who washed his feet, and when it was like, if you knew who she was, he was like, no, she's preparing me for my burial. Why was you so special that you were the one preparing for a burial, and you used to be a prostitute? You needed deliverance. Was it 6 or 7 spirits left her when Jesus prayed for her? That's a good answer, Angel.
Yeah,
that's a real good answer.
That's real good. I would say for me, probably either I would want to. I got a few, so I'm going down the list. So I would want to talk to Moses.
For sure. Okay, there's so many people.
Yeah, I want to talk to Moses. I just want to know. Like, I want to talk to anybody who was walking on that land through that sea. I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Draw me a picture. I want you to draw me a picture right
Write
now.
a book.
And let me know when y'all walked out of there and y'all started going through doubt and worry. Did y'all have dreams about where y'all at and how y'all got there? You know what I'm saying? What happened? You know? And also I would say Joseph. I would say like,
oh yeah,
like real life, bro. Real life. Like, you didn't want to get your brothers that weed, did you? You didn't want to do it, did you? Like, you know what I'm saying? I would want to know, like, you really want to give them that bread? You really want to like look out for them? Cause I don't know how I feel. Y'all mother, y'all threw me up in that pit like that, left me, took my nice many colors robe, and took me back to my daddy. And then my daddy, he just took the blood and just seen it. He ain't even leave. He wasn't that old. Yeah, he could still move and groove. You know what I'm saying? Because he ended up having kids
enough
after
to
that.
walk to Egypt.
And he still had Benjamin. He was out there grooving and grooving. So I want to know. Like, I want to be like, yo, daddy. Like, did you ask him questions? Did you get that closure you wanted? Because let's not act like we don't know his story, how he got there. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like we don't remember Jacob and Esau. Let's not act like that ain't the same man. They been having father and son issues, mother and son. They've been having brother issues for a long time, generations. Like, so I definitely would be like, yeah, and yeah, for sure the disciples and Judas. Like, did you know you was gonna like?
No, he didn't.
Trade up.
Some of your questions are in the Bible.
He didn't know.
Some of your answers are in the Bible.
I understand they could be in the Bible, but I still want to. I want to know the thought process of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when it was happening, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you have anything in you that was just like, nah, bro?
Like,
you know,
that heifer.
Or any other people that stayed behind once he had let all the people go, when Pharaoh had let everybody go? Like, did y'all sit there and be like, did y'all not see all these frogs here? Why are we still here? Like,
y'all know this man?
Like, we let them go. Can we go with them? Like, is that an option too? Or we just letting them go like that? You know? Or then, like, did they go get new slaves? Or they like, well, we let our last batch go. Like, did it continue on? Because we don't.
let our last batch
we didn't really
go.
circle back to it. Like, I would definitely want to know.
Somebody, Sharian said, Daddy David and Apostle Paul. Yeah, for sure.
I know whatever
daddy.
grace,
I added to Daddy.
whatever grace he has. Oh my God, I need it, because when that man died, they brought 2 young virgins to his bed, and God ain't said nothing about that. I need that grace. I need that.
Wait, what?
2 young who?
Virgins when he died.
Oh, 2 young girls.
Yeah, but they were virgins, because when he died, that means he had a type, honey. He liked them a certain way. But he was, and then Solomon, you married how many people?
You married how many people?
It was
like 300, right?
No, it's like, is it 3? That's low. I think it's like 9.
It was a lot. Yeah, a lot.
I think it's like 900.
Baby,
and then my thing is, what was the hair care routine? Talk about it. What you was doing?
They ain't had no Camille Rose. They was around there just
like
rinsing and going.
You know?
Oh my God! What about the black people? What was they doing with their curls? When they was just rocking it? Like, do y'all have detangle? Like, do y'all just use your fingers to detangle? Well, I guess you could do that. That is,
or maybe it just wasn't a concern. You know?
Just go to sleep with matted hair. It's like, dang.
You sitting there talking about matted hair. That's crazy. Okay. So let's talk about it. What our topic of today? I know if anybody has been familiar, the topic is like, it's kind of everywhere. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it's been about colorism. Like, real life.
Racist.
It's been about colorism. Like, have y'all ever experienced like a situation where what would be how you say that? Were you colorized?
Colorized.
Where somebody was a colorist
colorized.
Because when people say like race, he was racist, you're a colorist.
I've had experiences that like I told y'all in our previous like I told y'all in our previous what's it called? I had an experience like in middle school, not middle school, elementary, where the girl had called me like a burnt biscuit. I said, "You burnt biscuit?"
I still want to punch whoever that is.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but I
You
I feel
heifer.
like, and also I remember just kind of like being in school and stuff, and always not being picked because I was like the darker shade
Mm-hmm.
compared to the other girls. And it for me it was like it happened a lot, especially like with boys and stuff. And I don't know where they got this narrative where like black girls, as if these other girls weren't black, were ghetto. And you just be like, what? Like, we just loud and ghetto. So now I can't make no noise. Like, I can't.
I can't laugh.
I can't. Like, what do you want me to? That I never really understood it. Like, I never understood it, and I've experienced it in so many I've experienced it in a lot of ways. Even in like getting in this industry, it's just it's like it's sad, but it's something that happens a lot. But I think for me, I've noticed like when it came down to like the young, like the dudes in like in the platforms like on like YouTube and things like that, I always circle it back to they be having real life mommy issues. And if you meet their moms, a lot of them are actually like dark skinned, and they take that out. And if you ask them about their first love and things like that, it's like, and I remember having a friend in my early stages, like before I even met certain groups and stuff like that. It was this one guy, and he was dating this chicken color girl, but this man swore black girls was just so disgusting to him, like just so trifling, so vile, just so. And I used to just be like, what is your like? And this is he wasn't mixed with a dang on thing. I said, what is your beef with like? But then as he kept talking, we went on this trip this one time, and he started talking. His first love, first girl he dated who ended up cheating on him, she was a dark skinned girl. So apparently, if one dark skinned girl make you mad, everybody's canceled. But if this caramel macchiato make you, you know what I'm saying, feel some type of way, and she do these things,
you go back.
It ain't no thing. And so I just remembered like being treated a certain way, and even just down to like the dating scene of just like in this industry, it didn't make sense for you to be with me because like I'm dark skinned. I don't have the aesthetic of a foreign girl or somebody with this look or this thing like that. But I knew that this guy liked me, but it was like because of the image, it just wouldn't go. So it was always just something that we like keep under the rug, like let's try to keep it real low key. I'm a flirt with you, but it'll never be this. And I remember his brother telling me like, yeah, I think he likes you too, but he'll never date you. You know what I'm saying? Unless you were who you are with another status. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you were a celebrity. And I remember even being compared to like a Summerella. Like, yeah, he'll talk to you if you was like a Summerella. You know what I'm saying? You was cute, you know, you had your hair done. At this time, y'all, I'm wearing Walmart outfits. Like, but I remember just like, dang, it's like that. And I mean, you see now it's kind of a pattern of like who you're dating. But it definitely was a thing. Like, unless you had a certain status or something like that, that's when they would put the color to the side. But outside of that, baby, you get what you get. They're not messing with it. So I just remember me with my platform just wanting it to be a place where like the pretty brown girl could feel loved and supported. And I think that's why maybe a part of me held on so hard to my last relationship publicly, because I didn't want it to be something that was just like, you're not in that. Oh my gosh, the messages I got. Oh my goodness, the messages I would get for being in this relationship. You are not his type. I can't see him with you. Ill, 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 ill,
You
ill,
have
ill,
us.
ill. And you don't see him a lot in the YouTube comments, so you think it's just all love and positivity, but it might have been the filter ones. You know what I'm saying? That you go look at your filter ones, and it was just like, you black girl, he shouldn't even be with you. And these things played a big part of you feeling insecure, and you've been hearing it your whole life. You know what I'm saying? That he's browner or he's a fairer complexion than me. We can never be together. Like, you know, so it was something that I feel like played a big part and still plays a big part to this day when we're talking about the industry. You know what I'm saying? You don't look aesthetically pleasing. You don't have this look. You don't have this aesthetic to you. And if you're going to be a dark skinned girl, you need to come with all of it. You know what I'm saying? You need to come with all of the hits. You need to come with all of the fire. You need to come popping. You know what I'm saying? Can you sing? Do you at least got an audience? You know what I'm saying? Is it something? What value? And it's just like this girl. And then you grow up and they do this light skin versus dark skin. And it's like, I had a friend. I got a lot of stories. I had this girl, she was light skinned, comparably so. And when we went to this club or whatever. And we went to this club. I'm talking about every last dude was on her body. My thing is, I don't care. But I am taking note because I'm like, we told her in the car who we liked. You entertaining everybody. Pick one. Mind you, she liked it a completely different dude who wasn't even there at all, right? So
said,
I just remember us like in the club, and we had went to a strip club, and she's in the corner, got her phone plugged up. She caking to her like to this dude that she's talking to, and I remember the guys coming over after she kind of like swerved them and trying to entertain me and my friends. And I was sitting there, I said, no, don't try to come over here now that y'all done found out that the personality ain't all that. Don't try to come over here now that she ain't trying to give y'all the time of the day. And from there you just kind of be cool with them, cordial and stuff, because everybody's first remark when they want to go flaming and they want to start like, girl, you dark, you black, you da da da. You like, oh my gosh, you say something I don't already know. You don't think I look in the mirror and say, dang, I'm black? Like, you don't think I know these things or what? So I think it's just one of those things that was just like as I grew up and I started noticing, I understand how much our self-worth, our self-value, and our confidence comes into play. And that is not something to just be taken lightly, because it happens so often that it ends up letting girls, it lets other girls feel like it's this competition. Like this girl, she was like, I used to have this beef with dark skinned girls because they used to be mean to me in school. And I'm like, if everybody would sit down and have the conversation about it, you would see like this dark skinned girl is being mean to you because of how people are treating her, and they're blaming it on you. But we're kind of putting all of this frustration not to the right people or to the right thing. We're putting it to each other. Like we're so mad at each other that you're like, but we can't help the way that we was born, and we were all wonderfully and beautifully made in God's image and how he sees us. So we can't change these things, but we can change how we respond to these things. We can't change how we react to certain things. And we can't keep doing this light skin versus dark. It's 2024. Like, it's just like we might as well lock them up. You know what I'm saying?
Lock them up is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? We might as well just say, you know what, slavery cool. We might as well just go. But it's like, how are we any better if we keep comparing our skin color and saying one is better than the other, one is more this, one is more that? It just doesn't make any sense. And I think it really can affect a young girl, because I can say this now, but growing up, I used to literally not even like my skin color. I used to not I used to be like, it's no point of even trying, because all these dudes gonna holler at my friend. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Alyssa, I already know when we go here, there's not even gonna be no attention on me. They're not paying me no attention, but my personality is gonna get them. But why I gotta do all that when this girl, she didn't do a thing? But then again, we going back to now, you can direct that energy and stuff towards the girl versus towards the situation. What happens when we tell the men, like, no, like, don't do that? It's not no, oh, she look good in that, you know what I'm saying, you dark. And to think of how many times I have been in this instance in this conversation is actually kind of sad. And so it makes me want to make sure that I always let anybody know, chocolate, vanilla, whatever color you are, to know your worth and to stand in that. And don't let nobody make you feel bad about who you are, what color you are. That stuff does not matter. And the men is trash if they still on that, because ew,
it's a
boo to you. Tomato, tomato, tomato. Okay.
I got a PSA for every woman, every man, every colorist. You heifer, get your life together. Because for the what really blows me every time you say that story where they called you a burnt biscuit. Girl, I must come set your house on fire. Don't be playing with my sisters.
Is hilarious, actually.
It blows me, and I know I probably sound like weird. Well, I don't know. I be feeling like I don't be wanting to overstep. It's kind of like I kind of feel like a white person. I don't be wanting to overstep, or well, I don't think there's anything I overstep, but I be feeling like a white person because I'm brown skin, but they say I'm light skin or whatever. And so growing up, I didn't look at it like that, because I grew up, everybody in this family is like 10 different shades with us. It's like 8 of us, so we got 10 different shades. So it wasn't really like oh, I'm better, you better than me because of any skin color. It was, you my sister, you get on my nerves, and I love you. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I never looked at it like that, but it really pees me off, if y'all can't tell, that people treat like darker skinned women like this. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, what did y'all get dropped as babies? Like, it really bothers me. And I wish there was something I could do, but isn't there's not really anything I could do, honestly. And I'm sorry that for the instances that y'all haven't.
She trying to come up with the
I
answer for
tell you,
royal
that's how I feel
hunger.
like. But no, it's
I
so
want to
cruel.
apologize on behalf of all light skins.
I was gonna say it earlier, but I said that's too much, isn't it? But light
Yo.
skins do better. Do better. Because it's not only the black men, okay? It's the light skinned women that be around here, like that girl in that story. I think I know who you're talking about. You have fun. I'm sorry, I can't. Because I want to go off for every single person that be trying it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, y'all need to do better too. Because y'all think y'all all that, but you ain't. You ain't. Okay?
I think people be forgetting that it has nothing to do with your color. It's your personality
Yeah.
that can get you in the rooms
Yeah.
and that can take you out of rooms.
Yeah, that too.
And also too, like, you when you understand the plans to make you be broken down, make you have low confidence, low self-esteem, and that you start settling for whatever you can get. Okay, this cute boy talking to me, listen, he's definitely out of my league. Like I said, in my last relationship, even though I definitely was the dime in the situation, you know what I'm saying? No shade, no shade, but it's like the girl's always the dime. But in the situation, like I said, the messages and comments I got of just like, you're not his type. I would have never expected him to be with you.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
He
don't
not my
dress,
type.
you know what I'm saying? You don't dress like how we would expect. Even when you got money, like, you're not giving us like, you're not giving us what we want to get. You know what I'm saying? And this is, somebody said it's the women more than the men sometimes. In my comments, it was women.
That part.
It was literally women,
You
younger,
haters.
older, same age as me, telling me like, you're not his type. He shouldn't be with you. And I'm sitting there like, so then you start looking around like, imagine y'all start having situations in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And now you sitting there, you like, dang, I mean, he is talking to these, to these other girls, and they don't look like me. None of them look like me. That I got to a point where I could meet certain people and I could be like, oh, that looks just like his type. Or if there was like a dark skinned girl, she had this kind of she had this like aesthetic and this thing about her that you just like, yeah, it's like if y'all are gonna cross over, it's like, oh yeah, cash doll, it gotta give like, she clean looking, fly, she got the, you know what I'm saying, it's giving like, oh, it has to be, it's always with something. And I think that's something that now I'm having to just heal from, because you get so used to it, you start normalizing it, like, oh, this is normal, this is just what they do. And it's like, that's not okay. It's like,
At all.
that's not okay in any shape or form or any matter. And I think that's why just being able to experience those things and being able to relate to other brown girls and telling them like, no, you don't got to settle for that. You don't have to be okay with these things. You can be upset. You can say no. You can set your boundaries. You can tell them goodbye. You know what I'm saying?
Dusty.
And there's
Yeah.
somebody friend wise and relationship wise who loves you.
Yeah, I think you have to first acknowledge before you can like that's good advice, but I think before you get to the point of that, you have to like acknowledge the kind of history behind why there's such a division within the skin tone and the culture that is colorism in and of itself. And I, unfortunately, it does absolutely date back to slavery. You wanted them to go back. You want it to pass. You want it to look white. You know what I'm saying? Then, um, it was a less arduous, physical job being in the house versus being in the field. Or even if you push forward a couple decades into Jim Crow era, where you know what I'm saying, like people want it to pass. Like we're seeing a lot of movies and shows and things about that where people want to pass. But what that does is it conditions people to stay within those habits that were created in that time. Like there's a study out that said, like, Holocaust survivors, it's that trauma passes down through the blood. Like it's literally generational trauma. The same thing happens within the Black community. For whatever reason, it's not as normally or not as widely recognized as it is with other cultures or with other ethnicities. but it's the same thing within
Mm-hmm.
the black community. And so these people are trained to, or at least for the boys, they're trained in a way because white is the beauty standard. We have a European centric beauty
Mm-hmm.
standard, and so they're trained to look for these features. And then you have where there's in the inner city kind of the demographic of men, black men, who are like, no, I don't even look at other women of a different race or ethnicity, but want the characteristics of that ethnicity on black women. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
there's that also, and then of
Yeah.
course there's always more women. They're ridiculous. They're not only worse, they it hits harder, right? Because when they feel like this just happened on TikTok, one of the creators on TikTok was offended by something somebody said, and we don't have to discuss that person or anything, but it just the story is just
Mm-hmm.
on topic. And so they were offended by something somebody said about their life, not even their color, not even just about their life. I don't know what the comment was, but this is what the creator
Mm-hmm.
said. And in that, they went immediately to colorism, right? And that is a
Mm-hmm.
defense mechanism because it builds a divide, because it came with the superiority almost of like, well, look at, I'm this and I'm getting this because of this. And that's also true.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It might have been
Yeah.
hurtful and it might have been low, but it's also true because companies will pay more for a lighter skin. You know what I'm saying? Not that there's no dark skin um, creators, especially in the field of beauty or whatever field it is, but it is a little bit harder outside of
Mm-hmm.
athletics, or you know what I'm saying, where you're the face of a company or this that's not a black owned company, which is why there's such a huge push for black owned companies and shop black and buy black and all these other things, is because we'll put ourselves forward. But in doing that, there you can't have one market that you cater to. I mean, you were in marketing school, right, Erin? You went to school for marketing for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
These, you
2 years.
can't really focus
Bachelor.
only.
What's the associate's degree?
Yeah, amen. Shout out to you.
Sorry.
But you can't really have
School.
one, you can't hope for only one demographic of people. At some point, if your company is to increase, you want to branch out to different ethnicities and races and whatever. And so then they start catering to white audiences also, which is not a problem. The problem itself is the culture that we have as a society universally, because it's not just an American thing. This is within the Afro Latino community, this is within the Eastern, this is within the Asian communities, where South Asian and like, if your skin is a darker shade of what we want and what is acceptable, K-pops and stuff, like, honey, the drama is there also because this one a little bit tanner than this one, and you like, they all look white to me, you know. But
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff is real. That stuff is real life. That stuff is real life deep. I just be feeling bad for like the little girls who don't like when they first experience it, because I remember like the first experiences and you just like, why is it like this? Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because even dealing with just straight up racism, like, you know what I'm saying? I remember crying up in that school, in that bathroom because these three little girls didn't want to play with me because I was black. It had the audacity, when you think about it now, had the audacity to say why they didn't want to play with me, as if I had cooties or something. Like, girl,
Mm-hmm.
humble yourself. If I could find them now, Zoe, Alyssa, and Madison, I promise you. No, but that stuff is real life, and it's sad, but it's something that be happening. But I don't think we have to ever be okay with it. I think it's one of those things where we can't get so lax and be like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like but we can always be that difference. You know what I'm saying? We can also be that that change for who we do come in contact with, like, and stuff like that. Because I mean, we play a part in something, but we don't gotta like bandwagon be with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we ain't gotta hate on them either. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because one girl may say something that isn't the most, smartest thing, it might be a little ignorant, don't mean all of them ignorant. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean everybody. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean all y'all ignorant. You know what I'm saying? We be wrong to say that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, light skinned girls just be dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, we be wrong, but I think it just comes down to be like, okay, we see an issue, we notice that this is still a problem. It may not be something that we can just end right now, because there's still racism that is happening to this day. It's not something that we can just, but we can be more, like, we can be more aware, and we can be more like responsible on how we react to stuff and our part in it. So I think that's one of them things.
Can
But
can I ask a question?
yeah, what's the
Now, please don't laugh at me. Just hear me. Am I wrong if I end up dating and marrying a darker skinned man?
Did you hear what we said?
Because what? What? I it was just brewing in my mind, and I'm like, because I'm like, I don't know. I'll take it back.
Why would it be an issue? Why would it be an issue? I thought she was gonna say a white
What?
man.
I don't know.
Let's just move on. Let's just
That's
move
what
on.
I'm thinking.
Let's move on. Let's just move
Whatever.
on. What, Angel?
That's keep going,
Now
keep
let's go. Let's stay
going.
on topic, but go to
This
but
why
go to
people
the
don't.
other
This why
side.
people don't be doing live streams because,
'Cause
huh?
I'm on the wall. Okay.
To answer your question in the short, no, Angel, you would
no,
not
of
be
course not.
wrong.
Of
What?
course not. I think. Do you mean? I think. Okay. The nuance of it would be what type of man is he personally? Like, did he used to be a colorist or something? Like, is he reformed? Is he still going through deliverance? You know, like the context of it maybe would make it different. But just him being dark skinned is
Maybe I'm
not a
just
disqualifier.
personal. If anything, that should bump him up the list. You know what I'm saying? I love me some chocolate.
Now what colorism is doing, at least within the romantic realm, is it's pushing people to go in a different way. So now you have black girls dating white men. You have, you know what I'm saying, like it's pushing people outside of what they would normally be
Hmm.
comfortable doing.
But why will
Yeah.
anybody want who don't want them?
Thank you. I'm girl, I ain't never trying to convince no man to look my way. Be for real.
Mm.
Be
Like,
serious.
why? Like, you don't even want me. And then I think it's crazy that they get upset that people go where they're welcomed at.
Mm.
Now, my whole thing when it comes down to like relationships, I think questions have to be asked and things outside of we just love each other have to be thought about. Am I going to be taking my kids, our kids, to your grandparents' house? You know what I'm saying? And your great grandparents, you know what I'm saying, is slave owners. You know what I'm saying? And now they don't accept them. Now when we in Paris, they
They're
at home getting
currently slave
called
owners.
ER hard R. Like, come here, little R. Like, I don't want none of that. So I think you have to ask these questions and you have to do your research when you're dating. And I think
Yeah.
it changed a lot of things where even where like dark skinned like girls wanted to be like, oh, I want a light skinned dude, da da da. The light skinned dude want lighter than him. It just be this whole thing that keeps
Mhm.
going. And at this point, you just be like, man, forget all of y'all suckers. Forget
Mhm.
all y'all suckers. You know what I'm saying? We being real with it.
Okay, let me it's the question and the statement all in one. What I'm noticing about the differences between gender when it comes to relationships is women want to be loved emotionally and taken care of in a physical sense, materialistically, and men want to be respected. Like for a man,
Mm-hmm.
they know that their woman loves them if they respect them, right? Do you think that black women are taught to respect their partners?
Do I think that black women are taught to respect?
No, I don't think so because, unfortunately, well, I don't know statistics. I'm gonna be honest, but from what I've seen, from what I've seen in the black community, from what I've witnessed, hear me, it's a lot of broken families, and it's a lot of single mothers. It's rare to hear a single dad, but I'm not that we want single either, but it's a lot of broken homes. And so when you see your mom raising all these kids and doing all this stuff and being superwoman, where you kind of like, it's kind of like, I don't need a man. Like, it's kind of like, a man for what? Like, what? Like, there's nobody there to even teach you this, because the mothers themselves don't respect them because they didn't been screwed over. So it was just like, yeah, no, yeah, no, unfortunately.
Mm. And a lot of these men are even being raised by like single mothers, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it comes. It's such a snowball effect. People don't. I don't think a lot of women get that healing and take the time because I am a single mom. I can't speak on something like I'm a single mom and I'm raising a young man, and I can never be what a man would be to him. but I also have a very important role on being discerning and being wise and being so careful on what type of men I allow to come into his life
Mm-hmm.
and to be that example for him, you know?
Mm.
So I think when you may start off in broken homes, it's other men who end up like stepping into place and doing the things that they're supposed to do in order to be that example to help those men be able to understand that even just down to respect is not just a I'm a man, respect me. It's something that's also, kind of earned, like, and it's something on the way that you deliver. It's the way that you carry. It's the way that you carry yourself. All of these things play a part in, especially down to some men be wanting respect, have earned respect, but don't be with the right woman that is even supposed to be with them. And then they taint it. And now you got this girl who didn't respect you, but you was with her because her booty fat and she looked aesthetically pleasing, or because she was real cute. And we don't actually do the deeper the work that's supposed to be happening. You know what I'm saying? To keep us going, and
Mm-hmm.
to um to go forward, I guess to say.
Yeah, I
I want y'all
think
to know we hearing y'all in the chat.
I think for if men's understanding of love is respect, I think the reason that they like because then this also breeds mama's boys where they kind of like when they get into these relationships they be like, no, well my mom used to do da whatever. And I think the issue is that they've
Mm-hmm.
confused the definitions because they've been raised in quote unquote broken homes or single parent homes. So you no longer they don't love
Mm-hmm.
their mother, they respect their. Does that make sense? Because
Mm-hmm.
they've now taken on the
Mm-hmm.
job or the position of a father. They've become the sole breadwinner. You know what I'm saying? They're the sole caregiver. And so where a father would normally be the one to pay the bills and to put food on the table and maybe mom is the one to cook it, maybe now it's, oh, can you put that in the oven? You know what I'm saying? So the role
Mm-hmm.
reversal has changed the definition of love for these
Responsibility.
men, that they're no longer learning to respect their fathers, they're learning to respect their mothers and not love them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now they view
Mm-hmm.
their only example of a mother or of a household is in a masculine role. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something to think about.
That's
Because
good.
then
That's
when you think
good.
when they're because when these girls with bald headed daddies that are in their life and they raise them and they be like, like legit, that's like the aesthetic with the bald and and he opens the doors
Yeah.
for I don't have to pay for anything. I'm just call my dad because da 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 this that and the third. You know, they usually are the ones who go and get with white men,
Mm-hmm.
right? But these are two different universes within the same generation. Like white boys, white girls, this our age right now, Angel, they're getting married your age. They're married. They've been married
Mm-hmm.
already. They're not waiting 2 years to have kids. They're not having discussions about should we split the bills 50-50 because these boys are taught, my guy, I don't care if you go to college, is it gonna pay the bills, honey? Like they're taught a
Mm-hmm.
different standard of
Mm-hmm.
life versus us be like, no, well, I want to do this, da, da, da. But they're taught to get their lives started quicker than we are. And yes, it's a privilege to even
Mm-hmm.
have that ability to get right to that mindset where versus we have to kind of muddle through so many different routes and avenues to get to the place of quote unquote being ready for marriage or ready for a family. But these white girls are, forgive me, but these white girls are 18, 17, 16,
Mm-hmm.
married. Like they're married first, having kids.
My friend just got married.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and even within the Hispanic community, they're taught like they're taught to get married quicker. They're taught to start families quicker versus us be like, no, 25, 30, they 18, they still in college. I mean, they still in high school actually. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the
Mm-hmm.
standard of how they're taught to honor because that's the word that it is, to honor their men, is completely different than it is in the black community. Is that completely our fault? No, of course you have to be like, oh well, there was an agenda to separate the black family, to get men um police
They try
or
to make
to
us
get
But
them
accept.
I mean,
locked up. And
yeah, my question is like, is there a meeting for this?
I mean, for
Like for
what?
black people, like is they having a meeting? Like, hey, how we gonna do better, y'all? Like, I think we need to have a meeting, like a
No, they so
conference.
focused on who gonna pay my bills.
Well,
I
no,
think that
I think
I
that's
think it needs
part
to
of
be like
it.
a conference worldwide,
I think that's part of the
and then
the
everybody wears certain bracelets if you single or not.
girl. That's part. That's
Amen.
but no, like for real, like to have not be the inability to have a conversation had to be a part of the plan. Because if I'm gonna destroy a city, I want to make sure I destroy the plans of the city so that they're never able to build it again.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
You
Like
better
if
talk,
the
girl.
point was to destroy the black community or to destroy households and make people single mothers and to get everybody on welfare, because this is a well-known, at least if it's not I believe it's true. I believe, like, especially during the 80s, Reagan's era as president, like where the goal was to separate the black household, to get men out of the thing where they would go, well, we can get you on Section 8, we will give you housing, we'll give you welfare if there was no man. And that's still happening today. They'll give you aid, they'll pay your bills, you'll be on Section 8, but there cannot be a man in the house. This
Mm.
is still happening
I didn't know
today.
that.
You see what I'm saying? But this is
That's good.
policies that were,
I heard that list long.
you know, but that's how many women without a man
Real.
with an incentive not to get one. You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Within the black community, So anyway, I think
It's
part of the
tough.
issue
A
is
lot of stuff be
is
very
is roles.
strategic.
Mhm.
Mm.
A lot of stuff be so strategic and so like so much bigger than us that I be really wishing, I be really wanting us, and that's why I say our part in it, what role we play in it, and then our impact. You know what I'm saying? Understanding like all of these things. Once you understand it and you see it, you'll be able to start kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like once you get the wisdom, you know what to do. Like, and once you kind of like start informing yourself and letting yourself know these type of things, and you know what's going on outside of the own little bubble that we be in. Make sure I get my husband, we look cute, go on our trip, be fly, da, 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 and just kind of thinking bigger, thinking outside of just this little, we be like in a little
Mhm.
bubble. If I check off these boxes, I'm cool. I don't need to do no more. I don't need to do no less. I just need this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got 8 kids, but I got a husband. You know what I'm saying? I'm married. Don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
it's just like I just think it's one of those things where just being, we understand that just like a lot of stuff is very intentional in how they set certain stuff up. When it comes down to floods, we come down to gentrification.
Gentrification.
When we come down to these things, a lot of stuff is very intentional. So I feel like if we know that these things are intentional, besides turning a blind eye to it because we feel like, oh, we can never do anything, it's never going to change, we start understanding our role and then playing that role and doing what we can to be the difference. It's not about, it's just like you may think your role is so insignificant, but you do have a role,
Mhm.
and how you play in it, how you treat people and what you do. Those things like those things are very important. So I think it's just like we in a day and age where we're learning, we're experiencing, we are seeing, you know what I'm saying? As somebody who has been called many different names in the book when it comes down to skin color from men and from women, it happens, like these things go on, and it's sad, but it still is
Mm.
happening to this day. It's 2024, it's still happening, you know what I'm saying? Um Racial profiling is still happening, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Mm.
there are still people that, you know what I'm saying, there's still racism. These things are still happening. Like it's happening now.
Mm.
Yeah,
But the
there's
moral of the
so
story is
much.
God is good.
Amen.
Yes, absolutely. But you just have to like this stuff is so evil and demonic that, you know what I'm saying? Like this recently, I was just watching something on the news, and this guy was arrested with this like machine gun type gun, and was on his way to
Mm.
try to shoot up black people to start a race war. This was
Wait,
recently.
huh? What
What?
happened?
Not too
Dang,
long.
I was here and I left. What happened?
There was a
Some man
man
was going. He got caught with. Go ahead.
there was a man who had like a machine gun, and then he got arrested because he was trying somebody who he was trying to recruit to help him to shoot black people to start a race war told on him. But his goal was to kill black people to start a race war. But this stuff is demonic. Like, not only evil, that is demonic. You know what I'm saying? And then, because then if you go with like to twist scripture to go, you know what I'm saying? Because this is what these neo Nazis and all these other people, these are what these groups and demographics are saying and citing. You using First John to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're ridiculous. Not literally, but you know
Wait
what I'm
a
saying?
minute.
Like, they're literally using
They
Bible
found
scriptures. Yeah,
they pulled this young man. They found this young man.
old man,
He
older
had
man.
the thing, huh?
It was an older
He
man.
had it on him. when they
Yeah, he
found
was.
him?
So
He
he
had it
was.
on him.
Yeah, he was making attempts to recruit people to help him to kill as many people so that he could start a race war.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry, the silence was just hilarious
That
because.
it
But
really
Cause
the
I'm
point
still
is,
imagining him pulling up to brother and he
mhm,
got it. I'm talking about it's on his
yeah.
lap in the car seat. It's physically with him.
Hmm.
That
But I
is
think the
that
the
is
point is that this
atrocious.
stuff is it's kind of in like that is so demonic. It's highly demonic. Like that is for you to believe that there has to be a division. You know what I'm saying? Like that can't be godly, first and foremost. And then second, this stuff is so ingrained into American culture, into cultures period, that we don't even second guess these things. Like we assume that this stuff is all separate when they're all interconnected. You know what I'm saying? Because for racial profiling, they go back to, well, what was the origin of policing? Well, they used to give slave catchers badges. The same badge, the same star that be in the middle of their badge is the same badge that got updated that is now the police. But it started off as slave patrols going to catch runaway slaves. You see what I'm saying? But that now evolves
I'm be
into
honest, I'm getting
modern day
shocked.
policing. You see what I'm saying? Then you have to think about the people who are in power putting this stuff into play. All because all of this is all it's literally all interwoven, all interconnected, and it all has an effect on every ethnicity, every demographic, individually, but also universally. My bad, y'all. I was
Wow,
like two
wow.
steps from becoming like a
I,
Black Panther s.
no,
I just
for real.
have random
No, what
facts.
was in I was just about to say that about you. I'm like the autumn days that you was arguing with the people on Twitter because Dana used
She was
to,
gonna go to a protest. She didn't, but she was going
yeah,
to.
she was.
Oh
Dana
yeah.
was. She was our black activist up in here.
Freedom. That was a great.
You actually sounded pretty good on that. You actually sounded hit that a little bit.
You did. Do it
Amen.
again. Do it again.
Freedom.
No.
Like for my brothers.
Hmm.
No,
No, but
I
this
had
stuff
watched.
is
I'm.
atrocious.
I'm be honest. I'll be honest. I'm a little, as some like to call it, unseasoned because like hearing this stuff, I really I'm just being transparent. Y'all. I really be in my own little bubble. From colorism to racism,
Mhm.
growing up, I was in my own bubble. I didn't know about this stuff. I didn't really care too much, to be honest, because I'm like, I'm fine. Like my family probably good. But I never was really taught about this stuff for real.
Mhm.
And they teach you the little ghetto stuff in the history books, Malcolm X and all that. Barely. But I don't. Who is this man? He ain't did nothing for me. But it was. I didn't. At that time, that's how I was thinking. I didn't understand any of this, and just even now, still being 21, like hearing this stuff is still like shocking. It's just
Mhm.
like what?
Yeah.
And I'm working on that because I'm working on my listening skills, but like being more aware of stuff and not taking it on as a, oh, my life is over, or just becoming a Black Pantheress, because I don't want to be, but I do want to be more aware and see what part I can play in being a benefit and in helping. So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
it'd be wild out
I
here.
think the answer for any young woman who is dealing with colorism, especially from the opposite gender, if a man is being colorist towards you, or you've experienced that, evolve your taste, honey. It's okay for if you're not gonna marry a Malcolm. That's
Mhm.
okay. Get you a Chris. Get you a, you know what I'm saying? Get you a Muhammad. Get you a Eli. Get you a James, a Peter.
Mhm.
Now we just listen to Bible names, but get you what, you know what I'm saying? Get you
Yeah.
a
I'm gonna get
Micah, get you some. That's
y'all.
okay. Like
I
go
should have
That
outside
anger
of,
issues.
you know what I'm saying, or just you need to expand your view. You know what I'm saying? Because also, and this is just my truest belief. If you are attracted to people like that, those are internal things that are like, it's like a beacon for those things. You're attracting those things towards you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like an internal
Mhm.
thing, and then somebody comes and confirms that internal um insult that you have that now makes you feel even worse. It like confirms your bias. You know what I'm saying? That's like if you only watch Fox, or if you only listen to CNC, or what is it? CNN? CNN. If you listen to CNN, your view of the world is skewed because you're listening to one perspective of everything. You know what I'm saying? But then you meet
Yeah.
Oh my God! In California, Mexican they leave me alone. like Hispanic, like get away from
They love
me.
them to
Like
death.
not because I'm not you, but it's just like this the only one who interested.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like so you when you broaden your horizon or you open your scope or you open your mind to new possibilities and new opportunities, they're there, honey. Somebody loves all that dark. You know what I'm saying? Somebody love like there's somebody else. Let him get with Sierra.
Mhm.
Sierra's cute. They gonna make cute little mixed babies. Cool, amazing, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's fine. But you need to worry about you. But I think first you need to heal that thing inside of you that is telling you that what he's saying is correct. Because you believe it to keep being
Mhm.
there. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
true enough that you're consistently there. I love Missy Yana Van Zant. Love her to pieces. She's freaking awesome. But there's a
Who?
video.
Missy Elliott.
Oh.
No. Iyanla Van Zant.
Oh.
No. Not Missy
Oh,
Elliott.
Iyanla.
You're
Like,
ridiculous. Not
I'm
Missy
like,
It
Elliott.
did
oh,
sound like you said that though. It really
Miss
did sound like you
Iyanla.
said, "I love Missy Elliott."
Miss Iyanla. Okay, Iyanla fixed my life.
You're
Oh, that's what
ridiculous.
she's talking
Yeah.
about?
Yes. But she says something
Oh, okay.
and she goes, if you're still there, it doesn't hurt enough. If you're still going through that thing, it doesn't hurt enough.
Mm,
Because if it hurt enough, you would get your
Mm.
behind up and you
yeah.
would leave. Right? So for you to keep
She's telling the truth
entertaining,
like that.
you're still that's something like we talked a couple what was it, a couple weeks ago, we talked about like what your expectations are in a relationship. I know my expectations. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
entertaining anything either. And I don't have super high expectations that it's unattainable, that only 1% of the 1% can reach that. No, I know what I want, I know what I
Yeah.
like, I know what I'm fitting myself towards. And if you can't meet that, you're not what I'm looking for. That's okay. I've broadened my horizons,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
because there's nothing
That's
Yeah.
you can't
good. That's
ain't nothing in
good.
me to call me to that. You know what I'm saying? So no, fix
Mm-hmm.
honestly, honey,
And
fix you.
I was just about to say, doubling down on that with the fix you, that healing is so important. But I think we have to be okay that the healing for everybody looks different
Sure.
and the time span for it may be different for everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
a good example is I like to use us like as a reference of things of even, circling back to age wise. With me being the oldest and you being like the second oh shoot,
Second
You
girl.
oldest
third.
girl.
Yeah, the second oldest girl.
Okay.
Who's your second oldest girl?
Second oldest girl.
Okay. You took so long to get it
No,
out.
I
You
had to
took so
repeat it because I had to
long.
get my train of
Yeah,
thought.
you took so
I
long.
was trying to get my train of thought out. But we're going with things like that. I feel like when we had our conversation about our percentage, I think that's just something I
Mhm.
always look back on of just like our percentage of knowing who you are, if you're ready for marriage, ready for relationships and things like that. And it goes down to the healing. Like my healing process may be different than your healing process because you haven't been in a relationship to a point that I was in a relationship, but the healing that you're taking this time for is taking you not from, oh, this man hurt me, but no, my first hurt was my dad, or my first
Mm-hmm.
hurt was my mom, or my first hurt was my brothers and sisters. And you're healing from that, which is if you was to rush on the time frame that everybody puts on, you're this, oh, when you gonna get a man, when you gonna this, when you gonna this, da, 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 da.
Mhm.
It wouldn't allow you to get to the point where you are now, where even I'm able to learn from you when it comes down to the healing, when it comes down to knowing your worth, when it comes down to knowing your boundaries and being open to learning those things from y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Of like taking this time to be with yourself. And so I've always been with people, and
Mhm.
we've developed a lot of things about me in this podcast. But I'm so
Mm-hmm.
used to being with people, around people, and just being just what I do, that now I'm understanding like, no, Ari, you have to double down on who you are, because as a single mom who is raising a young black man in this world, your decisions are so important. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like the environments I introduce him to, the things that I teach him on how to, respond and talk, stand up for himself. The certain thing, the men, like I said earlier, the men that I bring around, everything is so important. But a lot of these things, if I start dating from a hurt little girl, then and I end up dating my dad, I didn't do nothing but put a man in the house, but I didn't put a man in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I don't want to do that.
Mhm.
Cause that don't make no sense to me.
Yeah.
And I say like I could did this, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You. you ain't showing us the thing. You not
Yeah.
follow you know. And having past relationships to even go off of and just be like, that's not what I want. This is what I want. I'm not settling for that. Like, I know for me, I wasn't converting over my last relationship. Didn't believe, wasn't a Christian. I still today can't name what he was, but he wasn't a Christian. I know that for sure. And it was like a I'm not I'm not I'm not
Yo, that was the funniest encounter I've had in my life.
I'm not backing down on that. You can't turn me from my God. Like, you can't convince me no other way. But I do know that I learned a lot, you know what I'm saying, from how to handle people. I've learned a lot even now of just like going forward of not using my wisdom to hurt people, and being kind, forgiving, the stuff that we like be working on. But
Fruits of
it'd be
spirit.
hard, man. It'd be hard. Even with Father's Day just passed, I had to really do, besides ignoring it, face some stuff that's like, no,
Can
I
we
got
touch on
some
that for
hurt.
5 seconds? I know that's not the topic of today, but can we touch on that for 5 seconds? Can I ask a question to y'all?
What's up?
Is it wrong that I don't want I did it, but am I wrong if I didn't send a happy Father's Day to my father? Backstory quick: disappeared for 2 years. Graduated high school, disappeared. 2 years, came back talking about I need a break. Sir, you had me on summers. Be for real. You know what I'm saying? So am I wrong that I'm like, yeah, you was there, but you weren't really there when it counted. So it's like, is that really a father? Because what is the definition of a father?
So your question is, are you wrong?
And what is a father? It's a genuine question.
um okay, I guess I can answer first more on the if it's wrong or not. I personally don't think it's wrong. Because I also too was kind of in the same situation. I sent it, but I made him sweat. I waited till it was like, I didn't, top of the day, right when you wake up, you finna, hey, happy Father's Day, you're the best daddy ever. I made him sweat. I made him sweat because I want you to reflect on this day when everybody's like, daddy, daddy, daddy. Just because your seed hit a fertile ground and blossomed and was not chopped down early does not mean, you know what I'm saying, that you know what I'm saying, that you get the benefits of this fruit from this tree, you know? And I think Father's Day, it should be something that it should be who you are every day. You know what I'm saying? Like how you show up as a father every day for your child. And I think people put fatherhood on what you can do for me. And he got money, he takes me on trips. But I think even being there emotionally, physically, spiritually, being able to support you, being able to lead you, guide you, and teach you, you know what I'm saying, not provoking you, being able to give you the instruction on how to live the life that God has intended for this specific child to live is something, because I almost didn't send the message either, but I think just out of respect and this part of me of that people kind of pleasing type of vibe, I still did it. I had said Happy Father's Day, but I ain't put a whole bunch of like a long caption on when I send Happy Mother's Day, like Happy Mother's Day for
Because my
all the
mama been
times that you was
consistent.
there for me and when I was low, when I was down. I just didn't do all that. But I did say that I didn't want to fake it going forward. And so I was like, next year we're gonna definitely face some things where I don't think I'm going to falsely send out the message if I don't believe it. You know?
Y'all know,
Like,
Ask you a question.
y'all know me, right? Y'all know how my little brain works, right? I like to think. Don't start with me. Don't with that deep Negro spiritual side that you just let out.
Ask
But
y'all questions. We gonna keep y'all sorry.
there's so much. No, because and it's actually based off of something that they said. It's a man-made holiday. And yeah, it is. But you're wrong because you're not healed. Yes.
But what if I?
No. Hold on.
But
Hold
what if
on.
I?
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Just sit right there for a moment. You're wrong because you're not healed.
wait, what happened?
She said,
Oh, I don't got time
"No."
for all that. Mm-mm.
What you mean?
She's talking about we wrong. What?
You are, and even and even
It's a
hold on,
process.
hold on. It is a process, but that it being a process doesn't change the position that you're in. It's a process, and we're understanding and giving grace within that, but it is still wrong, right? Because it's not about It's not about them being good at the position or being the best in your eyes. It's them having the position, period. You see what I'm saying? It's like, biblically speaking, hold on. Biblically speaking, when they asked Jesus, do we pay taxes? What he say? Give Caesar's what is Caesar's and
Give
give
Caesar
God's what
what.
is God's. They're due a
Mm-hmm.
certain level of respect because of where they are in our life and the position that they hold in our life. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it. But the hesitancy in doing so was because you're still hurt about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm.
texting the same people,
Yeah,
people of
for
God.
sure.
You see what I'm saying? I genuinely
Yeah.
forgot it was Father's Day. That's because you weren't present enough. But when I remembered, I definitely sent the text. I said, hey, I'm at church, but happy Father's Day, right? And then when I got a minute to actually talk to him on the phone, I talked to him on the phone, right? Because it's not my job to
Oh
condemn
wow.
his heart about not being there. You know what I'm saying? That's not my place. He needs to talk to his baby mama. He needs to talk to the Lord Jesus. He needs to talk to his parents, his, you know what I'm saying, our grandparents. These are the people who can hold him
Dang.
accountable for that. But it's not my job as the daughter to do that. It's his job to be a parent. It's not my job to be judge, jury, and executioner of the way that he parented, right? It's still unforgiveness, is my
Mm-hmm.
point, which is why you're wrong. Not even that you don't have to, because you can be fully forgiven and not want to send the text. Fine. That's beautiful. That's where you're not wrong, to Aries' point, because I don't think it's wrong that you didn't want to send the message. The why you didn't want to send the message is wrong.
Mm.
Mm.
Both of you.
Yeah, I know
You
Cause
see
for
what I'm
me. Go
saying?
ahead.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I still sent it because it was kind of towards what you said, because I did give myself a little check because I wasn't gonna do it, to be honest. Like, full
Mm-hmm.
being fully honest, like I wasn't gonna do it, but I said, okay, trying to be a good Christian. I said, I know that God gave me this dad for a reason, and it wasn't like he didn't. There was benefits of having him as a father. He
Mm-hmm.
did. I did learn things from my dad. I do believe he does love me, and he did love me. So I said, even if he's not showing up right now in the way that I need him, he's still it still was it was like a kind of honor thing, where like at least
Yeah.
honor the fact that, yeah, he's your dad.
Yeah.
Now if I ain't never met this man and he said hello and disappeared, and I don't know, that's different. But like, my dad, as interesting as his methods was, he still was there in some
Mm-hmm.
capacity, and there's still things that I use today that I learned from my dad. So
Mm.
I think that's why I sent the text, because at first, for sure, I was like, yeah, forget you, like, you don't deserve this. But then I checked myself and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
like,
And
but
one
you
more,
don't like it. It's
another thing. Eric brought up
mm-hmm.
the people pleasing thing. You're like, well, I sent it because of the, kind of the people. Is that right? Like the people pleasing thing,
I sent it because I didn't want to deal with the not sending it part.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You do the same thing on Mother's Day, not because you don't love mom, not because what you said isn't true, but you didn't feel like typing out that whole 7-page letter that she expected. You wanted to send the Happy Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? Give her
And
a
keep it
piece of
pushing.
chocolate and keep it pushing. Everything else, that's the whole point. On your birthday, you don't need the gifts, but you expect people to please you. That's the point of it being a gift. I don't want nothing that you think I would like. I want what I actually want. It is people pleasing for the person. You see what I'm saying? So it's not, it's still people pleasing. That is my point. You know what I mean? Like, just because mom was more
Yeah.
present and is still present to the point where we like, Miss Girl, we're grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to back up a little bit. Like, none of that matters. It's the fact is still, it is people pleasing because it's a day designated for them, one, and then two, if the idea was I didn't do this one because it was people pleasing, why do the other one then also? Because that wasn't for you either.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's
Mm-hmm.
good. Everything you said, I know straight up for me, and that's one thing that I'm trying to be more aware of. I know for me, everything that I felt, that's why I said it was such a self-reflecting moment for me, because I realized, I said, "Oh, baby girl," I said, "Oh, we still got some frustration up in here,
Mm-hmm.
real bad." Even like with Daniel's dad, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm like, I refuse. I don't care if I got your number now or
Sorry.
not. I refuse. You know what I'm saying? I refuse for you to even think that you can claim on this side. Get it from your other kids. You're not getting it from over here. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mention it to Daniel. I didn't say anything to him, and I didn't want to put him in that spot because he's in all of these years he's never thought of him,
Mhm.
or it's never came up because you haven't been here. And so I didn't want to be something where it's like you came around for these, for a month or so and you went missing again, that now you're gonna get this, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, no. But as for my dad, I for sure made him sweat out of just straight up just the unforgiveness part, because I think it just be hurting. It just be hurting as just like a, you don't got no other kids. You know what I'm saying? Like the least you can do, brother, is, you know what I'm saying, pretend to try.
Yeah.
I never asked you to have it together. I've never asked you for money. I've never asked you for anything. I just wanted you to try whatever trying looked like for you. But it seemed like you never even put that effort in. But you saying that goes back into saying like the motive behind not saying it is I wanted you to hurt. Like I
Mhm.
wanted you to come on this day, see everybody that's being celebrated. If you on Instagram, Facebook, probably Facebook, whatever app you want, and to be like, no, like, dang, my daughter ain't even what's it called. Maybe I should do better. Maybe I
Yeah.
should this. Maybe it should. I wanted it. It was petty. Like I wanted you
Mhm.
to hurt. That's why I wanted you to sweat a little bit. I wanted you to think about your
Mhm.
actions from January to now. Let's not even go to last year. January to now, what have you done to deserve this message? But unforgiveness is something that I've been really struggling with because I be holding grudges because I just I just be so hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's something that I'm noticing and not just like putting on the rug. Cause I used to be like, oh no, I'm okay. I ain't got no beef with him. Like I'm not,
Yeah.
it is what it is. He did what he did. But now as I'm like sitting down and noticing, I'm like, nah, girl, you're mad. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You big mad. You're irritated and you wanted him to hurt. And this seemed like the only time that you had an opportunity to do so. So it's like I wanted you to go through your whole day thinking that you was not gonna get this message, and then you finally get this message. And I could have called you, but I didn't want to call you and say Happy Father's Day, and then you say I love you, and then I go I love you too. But it's like anytime I try to bring up the topic of where have you been, we don't want to talk about it. We keep
Twin.
jumping over it. We keep moving around it, and so I think you have to be honest, like of where you at. Like, and for me, I'm still dealing with complete like the forgiveness part. It's hard. Like it's not as easy as like, oh, I've been baptized, I'm saved, and the Lord has shown me he's forgiven me. But it helps, to reference him. But when these things come up and you just like, what?
Because you're literally killing yourself. Like it's dying to self. You literally have to
Mm-hmm.
die to self
Come on.
because it's just it's not
Yeah.
it's
I
dead
wanted to
weight.
throw up. I
Yeah.
wanted to throw up that I said I'm not even going to even ideally think that we're sending this message to Daniel's dad. I'm not even going to pretend, because if he say thank you, I'm going to scream. I'm gonna literally
Mhm.
scream. I'm gonna rip my head off and I'm gonna
Mm,
scream. And that's how I knew, like, don't even do it. Like, don't even start nothing, because it's like at this
mm,
point you're doing stuff for like a reaction. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not even like, you're doing this out of a reaction because again you want them to feel this pain that they've inflicted on you, rather than knowingly or not, like, or unknowingly.
mm,
And to me, I've came up in my head and my assumption that you do know what you did. You do know you went missing. You do know the last time you seen me I was 13. You do know these things, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
mm,
But that doesn't give it a okay pass to make them sweat. I didn't
Yeah.
have to do that.
Mhm.
But I think that's why these conversations be so helpful, to be able to be like, hey, reevaluate the situation and look at it like, baby girl, you're mad. Like,
Yeah.
you wanna fight. Like, I kind of want to get in the ring with them still.
and I think I'm still coming to grasp with the fact that uh is it I want it so bad. I think I sometimes I kind of make myself mad on purpose because it'd be like I make myself unforgive oh yeah, mad on purpose because it's like I want to go like he was the worst dad ever, but in my case the truth is he's just a guy. He's just a girl. He's just a guy. Like he's just flaws and all, but it's just he's just a guy, and he did his best. Could have did better, but he did what he knew how in that time. And I think once again saying like the dying to self is kind of hard to grasp that concept and like let it soak in because part of me wants to stay mad and be frustrated that in the time when I needed you the most, you disappeared.
Mhm.
Because all the other times it kind of, for me, it was kind of like nulling. It just canceled out all the other times that he was gonna see. Even now, I'm working on it, but it just kind of canceled out all the other times he was there. So it's just like, yeah, it's like, why don't y'all just be there when it counts? When I was 5, 10 don't count. I'm 18. I need help. I'm struggling. But amen. But
What's your credit
once again,
score?
I believe that everything happens for a reason, and whether it was in God's perfect will or his permissive will, he didn't allow it for no reason. So, and I think even in the times when he did disappear, it still was things that I learned, and that even now I'm learning from and growing in. So I'm grateful. I'm very
Yeah.
grateful.
I think that's something that I'm realizing that's helping my relationship with God is being honest and being honest. And when I say being honest, being like, you know how you like, yes, this makes so much sense. This is a greater purpose. Lord, why in the world did my daddy had to be the one? You know what I'm saying? Like, or like I'm telling you right now that I know. I'm
Ridiculous.
telling you right now, I choose you. You don't you don't have to put me through these. I'm telling you, I don't want free choice. I choose my free choice and will is you. I don't want all of this pain, all of these. I don't want to go through these lessons. I don't want to understand why in the
That's
world
the
these men was not a part of
terrible
our life. Understand
part.
later.
Like that is the hard part about like life in
But
general. Papalo says that the cost for life or the cost for life is pain, right? Like that's kind of you're literally birthed into the world in a very painful way.
Mhm.
Like they literally smack
mhm,
you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're birthed in a,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Your mother goes through pain, you're going through pain. That first breath is like torture for a newborn. You know what I'm saying? Like you're literally, it's the cost
mhm,
of life. You know what I'm saying? Like that's literally every
Mhm.
when you're growing, the good things about life are weighted by how much they hurt, right? Because you can only really
mhm,
truly appreciate the good when you've had the bad. Somebody who was born wealthy doesn't fully
Mhm.
understand the concept of money because they've never not had it. You see what I'm saying? But these
mhm,
people who
Mhm.
had to kind of build themselves up to get to a place of financial stability or establishment and now are building generational wealth, now they establish a work ethic amongst their kids because they're like, I knew what it was like.
mhm,
I had to grind, I had to work hard and da da da. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
Daniel's gonna have a good life, but he's also gonna have to understand the concept of money. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't
mhm,
always have
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like let it, but you only know how important or how impactful something is by the opposite of the thing, right? We appreciate
Yeah.
Jesus dying for us because we was damned to hell. And if you don't realize that, then you don't really appreciate the sacrifice that Jesus made for us. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, that's good.
you can't even hold the weight of it. Like it doesn't even make sense to you. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
That's
that's
good. That's
the
good.
that's life. It has to hurt, otherwise it won't mean anything. So don't shy away from
mhm,
the messages or the teachings or the lessons that come with life. That's the point. That there are things that we don't have to hurt for. There are things that we don't have to
mhm,
go through. But to get to your husband, honey, you had to kiss a couple frogs. You know what I mean? Like it's that's just is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Because
I was in Egypt that time.
but you know what I mean? Like that's life. You know what I'm saying? And then also what
Mhm.
I learned, because again, I'm just at a different, like for air, you say this all the time, it's a process. I'm just at a different point in the process than y'all are. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
I didn't have, there was nothing to hold on to for me. You see what I'm saying? Like
mhm,
you there, Angel, you have a dad to be mad about. Like mine wasn't really there, you know what I'm saying? And then the other
Yeah.
situations and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? Like there, and in my head I never grasped that, like there was no concept of it. And so there was never really too much unforgiveness to get rid of, but it was.
mhm,
And then I think a turn in terms of the process, we're not all healing from the same wound, right? Maybe all
mhm,
of us didn't have a dad, but it affected us all differently, and so our wounds are different, which require a different method of healing as well as a different time frame for healing, right? Because
That's good.
not all bullets do the same thing, right? You get the hollow tips, you get the this, I mean that, but you get all
Mhm.
of these things. You get the ones that
Sometimes people
explode,
take the knife and cut
you know,
shot.
like but there's so many different, not only weapons but things that could happen, right? There's people whose hearts are on the
Mhm.
opposite side of their chest. If I stab you where this person's heart usually, or where your heart should be, it won't have the effect of if I stab somebody else there, because they're gone, because their heart's where it's supposed to be. Your heart is not. You
That's
see what I
good.
mean? So it won't have the same effect. You're gonna be in pain for a couple months, but this one's gone, honey. We hope they made it to heaven, but they're gone. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just like listen, like, and then it wasn't just the fathers. Also, it was the mothers also, because sometimes the effect of somebody being there is magnified because they're there. You know what I'm saying? I can be mad at
Mhm.
this one because he's not here, but I'm extra mad at this one because she's here and she did this, or she wasn't, you know what I mean? She couldn't do this, or, and you don't think about that as a kid, where these things impressed upon you or were so
Mhm.
pivotal. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like, she didn't pay for my recital thing, and she like, honey, we didn't have no lights that month. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you don't know that as a 10-year-old. You know, so you could be,
Mhm.
that could be the thing that you hold on to. You're like, well, my kids will never da da da. But there's so much, anyway. There's so much more to it. But for it to be just the father, that was a hard but also a easier thing than forgiving mom for being there. You know what I'm saying? Like that, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. Like, for a
Mhm.
while I had to make her not a friend, but I had to remove her from the position of mom to heal myself so that she could be mom again. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I told y'all this.
Yeah.
Like, for a while in my phone, she wasn't mom. She was Miss Janae in my phone, because in my head it reminded
Mhm.
me to give her grace, not because she failed, but in my head it reminded me to
Mhm.
give her grace because she's a broken person trying to raise people, and not because
Mhm.
we're all broken people trying to figure out the right
Yeah.
pieces. You know what I'm saying? Not just her,
Mhm.
but anybody. You know what I'm saying? Ari, right now
Everybody.
you're a mom trying to figure out the pieces. You're a broken. You've never been a mom before. You don't know the
And
playbook.
how?
You see what I'm saying? So
And
if
nobody get no. There ain't no
there's
book.
no playbook, every kid is different. There's no set rule. Kayla and Daniel are two different people.
Too different.
Daniel and Kaden are two different
But
people.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? There's no one set way to raise anybody or to build anybody. And so if we don't remember to give the parents or the people who are there, how they'll never succeed. It's hard to succeed because I have a different standard of what I would want a parent to be. I don't have not a kid and already have an idea what my kid's gonna be like. You don't know.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? And so in your head, you're like, well, why
Yeah.
didn't he do this? Why didn't she do that? Why didn't they meet this expectation? Because that's what I would do. But you're not them in the situation that they're in. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have the
Mhm.
mom or the dad that they grew up with, you know? Because there
Yeah.
was a story, like I told y'all the other day, like I knew a friend and her father was raised in like a really abusive household. And so in his mind, a successful marriage looked like not beating on his wife, looked like not being an
Mhm.
alcoholic, but that was the best that he knew. So
mhm.
wherever else he was failing at, I've never experienced, or this person had never experienced an abusive home. And so that's not their gauge for good or bad. But his gauge
Mhm.
was that for good or bad. You know what I'm saying? So to remember to give mom
That's
grace, I
good.
had to make her a different person. I had to set her aside and be like, she can't carry the expectations that I have for mom because she wasn't raised the way I was raised. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Her mom wasn't around as much
That's
as mom is for us. You know what I'm saying? Which in return makes
Mhm.
mom a little bit of a helicopter parent. So where some of our complaints might be mom needs to back up a little bit, it's because she was, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
Mhm.
these things have a reverse effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we gonna start answering. We've been responding on the chat for YouTube, but with TikTok, sorry we neglected y'all a bit. We over here trying to receive healing ourselves. You know, we are, we are,
And for
we
some,
are.
this always ends up being more. We know
Therapy
that it's
sessions.
blessing y'all as well, but it always ends up becoming like our own therapy session for each other because it puts a lot of stuff in perspective. And I think just being able to go through the rest of the week and knowing like, okay, I need to add on these things, but it helps. Like it really helps, and it's just like a to see the women that we continue to become.
Mhm.
It's just so like wow,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Because you just see certain stuff that you didn't know you were growing from that you're
Mm-hmm.
growing from, you know?
Smart Leah G. Leah G says she on both. She on YouTube and TikTok.
Hey.
Well, so we hitting that time, so we're gonna look at the TikTok comments, and we'll answer any questions that we
Yes,
missed,
please if you are in here
any
type some
comments.
questions for us so that way we
Let
can
me
answer
scroll
you
up.
guys. There wasn't no questions.
It was
I saw somebody said that they had a question. I don't know if they asked it, if they're
Yes,
still
my,
here.
I
Yeah,
have a
visa
question, but
clips.
it wasn't actual.
But now,
You
if
know,
you
she
do
had a
have
question after.
questions, yeah. But if they do have questions now, they can ask.
Okay. Yeah.
Make them good though. Don't ask me. Don't ask me nothing dumb. And on topic, please. I beg of you.
I beg of
Please,
thee.
I
So
beg.
today we talked about
Colorism,
colorism. We talked about
Debbie daddies.
deities, Father's Day, Debbie daddies.
I'm just playing.
Please
I'm
type
just
any
playing.
question that y'all have. There wasn't no questions in there
Oh, okay. Yeah, y'all type any questions
that
y'all
I
have.
seen.
If you typed it already, please retype it because we trying, y'all. It's a lot. We
But
Mm.
trying.
Yeah.
dang, these talks always as y'all typing y'all questions. These topics always be so helpful to me. And I think getting in the place of understanding your emotions and getting in control of your emotions,
Mm-hmm.
although hard, very useful.
Yeah.
Because I do realize that when I get flaming and I get mad, when I
You turn
get
into a cheetah.
there, I, it's like venom just flows out my
Mhm.
mouth. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because I'm like, and I know for me, I had to realize, using Daniel's dad as an example, really briefly, him not being a part and then making this random appearance, because he's been out of sight, out of mind. He was out of sight, out of mind. But that
Mhm.
does not mean that the vase was not broken still. You know what I'm saying? It was just one of those like, oh, I
Mhm.
put it in the garage, but now that I'm in the garage, this thing is still broken. And I didn't
Mhm.
realize how angry 18-year-old me was, 19-year-old me was, 20-year-old me was, and how long I've been holding on, waiting for that moment to you know what I'm saying?
Uh-uh.
Like just ready, waiting for that moment to just snap, to just say, "What the heck? What in the world? Where have you been? You got other kids? Like, what's happening? Like, what's the plan here, brother?
Mhm.
Like, what are you doing?" And understanding too, not letting my emotions and my feelings get in the way of Daniel, because I be mad and upset. Meanwhile, Daniel just happy for somebody, like just happy to see you. You
He
know what I'm
be in his
saying?
own
Right.
little
In his
bubble.
own little world. So I had to understand navigating the two. So it's like when he didn't remember his birthday, I had to be like, Daniel didn't notice because you've never been here a birthday.
Mhm.
I, on the other hand, and live it. I am at the max of capacity.
Mhm.
I'm so mad. But I see we got a question.
Um, y'all ask the question. Ask the questions. Sharian, I don't know how to say last name. Beauty.
Kellogg.
Kellogg.
Kellogg. Kellogg.
Kellogg. Kellogg is just a G. It's GH. It's a Kellogg. Kellogg. Okay. Do you think you have to have a relationship with your sibling when you forgive them for something?
No.
Yeah, no. We made a choice as sisters. Like we had a conversation where we were like, we're making a choice to be in a relationship with each other, to be sisters, to
Mm-hmm.
make the choices to love each other, to be there for each other, and yeah.
And again, this is something I again learned from Dana. Cause I ain't nobody ever came up to me, family, blood or not, and said, "Hey, you have an option, a decision to be in my life. This is what I'm requiring. This is what I'm requesting.
Mm.
What's up?" And it's just like Gary said it right.
Mm.
Interesting. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But you have a choice, and I think it's just one of those things. Like people think that just because you forgave means that you have to give people the same access that they may have had before, and that
Mm.
doesn't mean that. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that at all. You can forgive them. You can, as we were talking about with the Father's Day thing, you can forgive them. You can still send the message and not be like, "Oh, Daddy, when we're gonna go have lunch now?"
Well, I'm
Oh, you
fishing.
know what I'm saying? Like, are you calling him every day? Hey, Dad, just checking on you. Just wanted to make sure everything's okay. You don't have to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things where you don't have to, but it's more of a like if you want to go down that path, but it's just like a forgive,
Mhm.
move on, make sure you're not holding on to that hurt, that weight, and letting it go, leaving it at the altar, and really not, like I said, taking it out of sight, out of mind. Because I'll be like, oh, I forgave, and I put it in the closet. Whole
Mhm.
time,
You got
I ain't talked to this
skeletons.
girl in the whole week because she ticked me off. You know what I'm saying? She has completely made me mad, but I haven't talked to her. But it's like you take it out of sight, out of mind, but that doesn't mean I forgave her. So I think with true forgiveness, you have to just be okay that and do the process. That doesn't mean that people have to have that same access that they had before they may
Mhm.
have done something that may have lost your trust or may have at one point seemed unforgivable.
Then I want to hear what you have to say about her next time. She said, "My family feels like I need to
You already saw my
forgive
face.
her brother."
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah,
But she's at,
go ahead.
for people who maybe not saw it. She's asking, one, do I have to forgive them and stay in relationship with them? And then also her family feels like she should because their mother just passed, but her point is they don't know all the details about whatever the situation was that happened.
Dang, what do?
I'm curious too, but
You
I'm
ain't
gonna
gotta
say
I
show
want
this.
those.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's me
want.
just being nosy.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, and I will say it a hypothetical because again I don't know what the situation was either. But let's say he was a drug addict, he stole from the house, whatever, and your mom was so offended and hurt by it, whatever, and maybe they never got to
Mhm.
get to the place of what is the word, conciliation, where they were
Reconciliation.
forgiven,
Mm.
yeah, where they were forgiven of each other and where they had that kumbaya moment, and maybe it never happened, right? But you
Mm,
don't have the right to be mad for somebody else, unfortunately.
mm.
And yes, it might have affected you,
Ooh,
but the
baby.
effect that it had on them is not the effect that it had on you. It's like Ari can't tell me
Mm,
something that her man did to her and I'd be mad about it more than she is. Or I have the
mm,
right to say anything about it. Even if
mm.
Ari invited me to have something to say about it, if they get back together, that's her business. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If mom still wants him around for family dinner, that's her business. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really, you have the right to refuse to have a relationship with them. You don't have the right to hold unforgiveness on the sake of somebody else.
Mm.
Mm.
I'm sorry that happened, Sherry. And you see the her what's it called?
Yeah, I'm really sorry, and I think that's very unfortunate that you had to go through that. And I know it may not be easy, but I do just send prayers and strength for you of going through something that I can't personally relate to, but I can only imagine how that may have felt. Even just going through the transition alone of losing somebody that was in your life,
Mm,
and it's not easy for sure, but um and oh, and you're the youngest. I know I again I can't speak from a place of, oh, I know exactly how you feel, but I do want to just send just strength to you, and again commend you because you made it through. You did it, like, and I know that ain't nothing when you gotta actually do it. Somebody be like,
mm.
you did it though, you made it through. You
Yeah.
like, girl, I lost a
Well,
foot, I lost my man, my dog
Yeah.
went out of town, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Age
so
has nothing.
yeah.
Age has nothing to do with maturity.
Yeah,
It has
y'all be on this
nothing.
live.
So,
it
Sherry.
For
has
real.
nothing to
Ain't
do
no
with
shame in my
maturity,
game.
right? And I feel
So we
like
gonna.
I'm gonna say, hold on, I'm gonna say this. I
Right.
know because I whatever, but I know there's people who always say, and Angel, I told you this not too long ago, right? Because I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I hate when people say like God will never give you more than you could handle, and that is not
Mm-hmm.
true. That's not true. That's not, the Bible doesn't say that. Like that scripture, they've cut part of it out. He says, I won't give you a temptation that you can't handle, that
Mm,
you can't overcome. And he says, I will make the exit for you to get out of it.
mm,
But if I'm God, why would I give you something or the ability to do it without me? That doesn't make sense.
mm,
The point is to need God. The point is to rely on God. We're supposed to live our lives relying on God. Why would he give you the ability to do something without him? That don't make
Mm-hmm.
sense. You see what I'm saying? You should need his strength to get through the thing. You should need his power to
mm.
get through the thing. That's the whole point. Because if you wouldn't need him. That's the
It's
point.
like lifting weights.
You see what I'm saying? Like there's no point then. So yes, he will give you more than you can handle so that you come to him. That's the whole point.
Mm,
He absolutely will.
That's good.
You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
That's good.
So
That's good.
age has
mm.
nothing to do with
We
it.
got a
Go ahead.
we got
I
another one. It
know.
says, "Do you feel like cheating in a marriage is the only deal breaker? Because I feel as if I have to keep stressing or nagging to push for us to be greater, and my partner not. It's kind of no point, or we have separate goals. So do you feel like cheating in a marriage?"
We're gonna answer these two last questions, and we're gonna be done, guys.
Because she says, I was told the only way to leave honorably would be if there's infidelity going on. So,
No. No, because I think here's the thing. I think people don't are getting married for quote unquote love without realizing that love is not an emotion; it's an action.
Mm.
God so loved the world
Yep.
that He
Come on.
gave His only begotten Son. It's an
Speak,
action.
preacher.
Like it has nothing to do with He make me feel butterflies in my
Eee.
stomach every time I see him, and I miss him, and I miss her. That has nothing to do with it. You have to realize marriage is a business contract. God made Adam and
That's
Eve
good.
so that she could help him with his purpose to be fruitful and multiply, to till the garden. Like that was her point, to help him. So if he ain't doing nothing, you ain't doing nothing either. So no, cheating is not the only reason why there should be a dissolution of a relationship. Period. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I say this as somebody who has never been married, is not currently married. So take that how you will. But
No,
disclaimer
for
out.
real.
She said I was told the only way to leave honorably would be if there was infidelity going on. I hate that. I hate when people put that
Oh,
Pentecostal,
you
as
didn't.
a.
This your first time hearing
Baptist,
that?
like
Oh my god, I didn't hear it. Did I miss it? Oh, maybe I was too busy typing. Oh.
No, I just was curious if you was here or not because I'm like, you read that like back. I did not read all of
and
that.
read it twice. She read it twice.
And
Read it
Okay,
twice.
because when you was, I ain't gonna lie, when you was reading
she
the
like,
question, I was
oh.
But did y'all hear that part? But did y'all see that? I was curious.
I'm trying. My head is like dragging me. I'm so tired. I'm
This
so
baby been
sorry.
up since 3 a.m. She just got back in town from New York this morning. Only took
Yeah,
a quick
Listen,
little nap.
I'm gonna share my pictures and stuff. Miss Understood Beauty, email me.
They said it's
that is
okay.
not biblical. That is not biblical. He absolutely will.
Hi,
He says, "I
Tika.
will not give you a temptation that you can find the scriptures that He will not give you more. Find it, please. I beg of thee. It's not real. It's
Please.
not real. It's
Mm,
not real.
Yeah, dang.
Because if that's the case, every
mm,
situation that you've ever gone through, you shouldn't have been going through.
mm. It's literally like
Think
lifting weights.
about
It's
it.
like going to the gym.
That's the
You gotta
point.
lift
Like
heavier
you,
weights to get more muscle.
that's the whole point. You can never handle anything. You know what I'm saying? You can't even handle your own life that Jesus took it from you.
Mm.
Like your life is
Come
not your
on.
own. Like you can't even handle that. You can't even make this.
That girl getting taught.
Like that's not biblical. It's not true. He says, "I will never give you a temptation that you can't handle." Because it's just temptation.
Mm.
It's just the cake's on the table. You can grab it or you can't, but you can choose not to grab. That's not true. Sorry.
That's
Oh
good.
yeah, that got you up.
But the problem the problem that this person is having with hearing what is being said is the same problem that the one with the cheating is having, because somebody told you from their own religious doctrine and beliefs that that's the only reason
Mm.
you can. That's the only exit way that you can leave by, and that's not true. That's not true. You think if
Mm.
you think if a man is beating your behind, that God wants you to stay in that marriage, and because he didn't
Mm.
cheat, you can
And it,
stay. Be for real. Be
can
so
you
for
give an
real.
example of not so dry? Like, can you give an example of something not as drastic of like being like yeah. Can you give us an example not as drastic? Because I think some people go like, oh well, he's not beating me, so then I'm fine. Like,
Well, abuse is financial, abuse is emotional, abuse is mental. You can't leave a house. You know,
mm,
like there's certain like that. Maybe that's still drastic, but also if you have a purpose and you're not able to complete that, when you get to heaven, y'all not going as a married couple.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
yes,
come
y'all
on.
will be, but you still have to stand before God and go, well, you told me to start that podcast. I don't know why we didn't start it. Carlos said no.
Ooh, Carl, you better watch your brother. Oh my God, I see what you're saying.
Mm.
Let's see, but
No, but there's
okay.
also the
That's
part
good,
where
Court.
you don't want to get the point is not. I'm not encouraging anybody to get a divorce. Don't go and sign a divorce paper and be like, well, them girls want to be so for real podcast here.
Yeah,
No,
this
no, no.
one
That's
girl
not
who
what
ain't never
happened.
been married
Amen.
then told
I'm
me to go get a divorce. No, we
no,
did
we didn't
not.
say that. I'm saying that there are other circumstances. You know what I'm saying? You can be married and be a single mother. That kid doesn't have a
Mhm.
father.
They don't
You see what
want
I'm
to talk of
saying?
that.
You see what I'm saying? You can be business partners and you ain't got a partner. Cause they not picking up
They
their
don't
part of
want
the.
to talk
You see
about
what I'm saying?
that.
Like no, that's not the only reason. So
Yeah.
my point is, if your point of being here is to be fruitful and to multiply whatever it is that you have been given, right? Because that's the mandate of all men: be fruitful, multiply. right? That's what he told Adam and Eve, who we all
They don't
descend
want to
from.
talk about
Purposes never
that.
change, right? So if you can't be fruitful, if you can't bear fruit for God, what does he tell you? And this is biblical, y'all. He says, I'm gonna cut it off. He says, I'm gonna cut you off because you're not bearing no fruit. And the point is to feed these people.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
That's
gotta go. So
good.
if you can't bear
They
fruit,
don't
if you
want to
can't
talk
do what
about
God asked you to
that.
do, gave you to do, if he can't do what God gave him to do, you can't be helpful to him as a woman. There's no point.
They don't want to talk about
So
that.
either you need to pray harder for him, you need to fast for him, you need to take him to, he needs to go to every altar call in America to get to the point where he's now in a place, or honey, you need to ask God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They don't want to talk about that.
Well,
She's so kind. She's just gonna keep smiling at me.
I'm gonna read her last comment, and then y'all,
Yeah, go ahead.
it's time to go to bed. Okay. So she was, you know, after she was responding and saying, she said she's not married. She's proven a point to her auntie because she just said her uncle cheated on her. Wait, yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes it worse. Why was you in their people? Why are you in their bed? I thought we was talking about your marriage. Nah.
Are you?
Mm-mm. That's what I'm saying. And somebody was like, there's so many things that you can do before you decide to get a divorce. Right, to somebody's point, absolutely. And just an echo of what we were saying, don't go get divorced unless you're absolutely sure. What I was answering was, are there more reasons to get divorced? Yes. But there's counseling, there's prayer, there's so many so many avenues that you can go down before you make such a because it's life altering decision, right? But this is you're the same question that this one had, or the other one had, about the forgiveness thing. How you holding on to something for them? Get out their bed, respectfully, you know. Like the example literally was with Ari. Like, if she tells me that Billy Bob did this, I can't be mad for her. And Ari shouldn't have told me if you knew you was gonna get back with that man. Even if you didn't know, why would you tell me what's going on in your bed? If you wasn't completely sure that you was gonna break up with that man, because he might come with flowers the next day and she forgive him. But now I'm holding a grudge for my sister. No, that's her man. Let her stick. If she gonna stick beside him, honey. My job is to be support whatever way she fold.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Y'all talking good today. Y'all talking good today. I love when we all get a chance to talk to each other and we just get these moments to just like reflect, to talk. And for those that are on TikTok, those that are on YouTube and TikTok, we thank y'all for just coming to the podcast and talking to us. Don't think this is the end of these conversations. Don't, like, we started off on so many different tips, and we're now in a point where it's just like, we want to hear your commentary. Send us suggestions of topics, comment under the videos. Our YouTube channel is Be So For Real Podcast. Okay. It is with a white background, black words. Go ahead and subscribe. We have videos dropping every Friday, and we go live every Monday. So make sure y'all just follow us on our social media so y'all know when we're live. You know what I'm saying? In case we ever want to razzle dazzle it up and spice it up for y'all.
Email us.
Watch the videos when you going on a walk, when you cleaning up the kitchen, and talk to us like we in a room with you too. Be like, girl, what? Type it in the chat. We looking at the comments. We talking to y'all. Do it while you getting the kids ready for bed, folding your laundry, anything. Just, take the time, if you haven't had a chance to watch our first couple of episodes, to take some time to watch these episodes. And make sure y'all follow our social medias. The links to everything is in the description. We want to talk to y'all. We want to get to know y'all thoughts, y'all opinions. Send us y'all Mocha Letter so you can be in the upcoming Friday episodes. And
love y'all. Nafitu Tika, get out of here. Email us. We love y'all, and we'll see y'all on Friday.